Hello, and welcome to another edition of TJ Plays with AI Stuff. In this particular demo, I'm going to be walking you through this Figma Context MCP and what it does and how we use it. I'm particularly excited about this one because this one is mainly for the area that I feel like South Left, my company, exists within, because we've always tried to be that connection between the design side of things, tools such as Figma, and code bases. So whatever we can do to narrow that gap, to bridge that gap, is what we like to do. This one feels like it's the closest to doing that. So I'll go over it really briefly. So this is called Figma Context MCP. For those of you who don't know what MCP is, I'll go ahead and read this definition just so I don't butcher it. MCP is an open protocol that standardizes how applications provide context to LLMs. Think of MCP like a USB-C port for AI applications. Just as USB-C provides a standardized way to connect your devices to various peripherals and accessories, MCP provides a standardized way to connect AI models to different data sources and tools. So in the context of this Figma Context MCP, when I give it a prompt, it's going to run through this MCP server to provide Figma layout information, the metadata associated with the designs that we're trying to translate into code. So the installation of this is fairly simple. You have to use something like Cursor or Windsurf, any AI-powered code editor. Go into your project in NPX, install it. You will need a Figma personal access token. You can Google how to get those. Actually, it might even have instructions in this README here. I do recommend watching this video too, because this video is slightly different from the demo that I'm going to show today, because it's really just trying to take a design and then translate it to code, which is a little different from what we're going to do. So it kind of takes you through how to get the MCP server set up. I can show you where that is. So in your cursor settings, there's a spot for MCP. You can click this Add New Global MCP Server. You paste in this JSON that's supplied for you here, along with your personal access token, and then it'll generate the MCP server. You'll see this little green light over here that indicates that it is connected. Now here's the process. So I have a short prompt that I'm going to pop into my chat down here. So I want a new chat up here. I don't want to associate with any file. So I'm not going to do I want the agent, because I want it to actually do things. So this is the short prompt I'm going to put in there. So I want to give it some direction. So I want to say utilize the existing component structure that's in there now. So all of these components that are in this are web components using lit as the helper framework. And I want the way that this component that I'm about to generate, or have this MCP server generate, is I want it to be similar and consistent with the coding styles of all the other components in here. So that way, if a person was looking at this new component that was generated purely with AI versus some of these ones that were manual, there's identical. There shouldn't be any difference in the way that those are set up. Also, I'll also give it some kind of considerations where the paths, we have a section where we keep our tokens. I'd love it to be able to reference the tokens and any other styles that are in that styles directory. And I do want it to create, we have a React version in this design system, and we also have a web components version for this particular use case. I want to use only the web components piece. So I'm going to go over here to Figma. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to use this banner component. So I don't have a banner component in the code, in the component library. We do have this one in Figma. Over here, you can see that there's several variations and styles that use different icons, and it looks like there's a close button that has some optional text under there. So it's kind of got like a little accordion feel to it. And then this one's got a button group. So, okay, so the main thing to do is copy the link to the main component, just like this, and then go over here, pop it in this prompt, just like that, and then hit enter. So I've done this several times with buttons and badges in smaller, more atomic level components. This one is not a fully composed component, but it does have a lot of different pieces in it. I don't expect it to be pulling components from the sibling component directory and utilizing those. But the hopes is that if it's worked the way the other demos have worked, then it should be utilizing the tokens from the token library. It should be matching the code stylings of all of the sibling components and how they've been set up. And it should give me a workable component with all of the various stories associated with that component where I can interact with it and get me 90% of the way there. I'm not saying this is going to be a magic wand and it'll completely revolutionize the way components are developed. All I'm saying is that this is the part where it feels like we're pair programming with AI. AI is getting me 75 to 90% of the way there. When I'm using this tool, I have the ability to reject or accept any of this. And being that I developed a lot of these different components, I know what should be a good component and what should be a bad component. And then I can also see whether or not the coding has deviated from the standard styling, from the standard coding style that we've implemented for the majority of these components. So let's just take a look at what it's doing over here. So it looks like it's just doing a lot of examining. So it's looking for the components directory. It found it. Now it's analyzing the structure. It's looking at an alert to see if it can use the alert as an example of how to create the banner. It looks like it went in and actually created that banner. This process of generating these files and generating the code for these files usually takes about 5 or 10 minutes, depending on if it runs into like linting errors and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and pause and I'll come back when that's ready. Okay, and we're back. So it went through. It took a little while at the end. Still no hand coding or anything has been done. It went through and it took a while to get there were some linting things that it needed to get updated. And then here's kind of the summary of what it did. So it created the banner styles, created the banner stories. Here's just kind of a rundown of how to use the component. So you can see that it's a web component with different variants and all the different properties that's in there. So that's super helpful. But then look at the CSS that it created. It's leveraging all of the tokens that are in the tokens file. And it has this comment block up here. So just in comparison, here's an alert. And this is how we do alert. And this is a manually generated component. And it's using these tokens, and even the way that they have this like parent nesting piece in here, like they're doing it's even pulling the includes from the SESS parts that we put together. So it's using the little parent selectors, the parent nesting piece. So this is great. The stories are in there. Looks like it put it in a components area, which is, we can manually update that. That's pretty simple, but it's giving all of these different types, and then it's spelling them all out here, which is beautiful. And then let's take a look at the TypeScript file. Great, it's got all of the different imports. It's even trying to use it like it's pulling in components, icon components, so it's not trying to just recreate the icons as SVGs or anything. It looks like it's aware of the different components that are available to make this more of a composed component. So this all checks out. This is great. And it's even got some slots in there for the optional icons. So this all on first sight looks good. Again, here's what those banners look like in the Figma side of things. And then over here is what it generated. So it looks like here's a success banner. There's this warning banner. I got the icons right. It's got the danger banner, and this is pulling in icons from the component library. Looks like it's got the controls on there where you can expand it and contract it. It looks like it's got this X on here. There is no close version in here, but I think it just might have messed up and swapped it out because it looks like it should be the chevron. But this feels like it got like 90% of the way there, where this component would typically take a data build. This took all of 5 to 8 minutes. And the setup was super simple. In using this process for entire design systems, especially for some of the lower level, the atomic level components, this can shave off so much time and make your process so much more efficient. So I'm a big fan of this. I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I hope everyone else gets the opportunity to check it out too. I'd love to know what you think. And yeah, and that's all I got today. So thanks.